We're after the perfect end to what has been a perfect week.
Yeah, it could be a very good week for us, for our supporters, and I think that the players, they enjoy playing football. No?
You made 7 changes today. What was obviously a thinking behind that is to keep the players fit and fresh? Yeah,
we needed to change players because after the 2 training sessions we could see that they were really tired, and then we needed to change players, and it was a risk. Sometimes it's a risk, but always I say the same. If you are training with all of them and they know what to do, then maybe you can do it.
I know you've asked to see both of the penalties. We can separate them. First of all, the first one, your thoughts on that?
The first one, I said that when the referee is watching you and you have your arms wide and catching or controlling the player, it's a risk because you don't need to use your arms for controlling the player. Then he was running there, Gerard, and he was using the arms. Then you can say no if you are the other manager, but for me, you don't need to do this. You don't need to use the arms, and especially with the referee watching you.
And the second one, you have no doubts about that?
It's very clear.
The scorer of both was Robbie Fowler, who doesn't get many games, but when he comes into the team, he scores the goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, in this case, we knew in penalties he's really good, no? And then we had confidence in him.
Mascherano got a game today. He's obviously some way off match fitness, but did he do what you expected?
Yeah, he was. I think that he started the game without receiving a lot of balls, no, because they were pressing high against Gerard and him. But after, with the game, he was playing better and giving to us the possession that we needed, no?
Well, Neil, referees' penalties. I have to warn you, anything you say may be taken down and used in evidence against you, but your thoughts on today?
Well, I don't think I'll get into trouble for saying, you know, I know Steve Bennett, you know, I've always said that Steve's a manufactured referee. He's not a referee who understands actually playing the game, and I think Steven Gerrard, I was disappointed with him for the first penalty. I can't blame him, he's a professional footballer, but if you look at Steven's eyes, he wants the penalty from the start. He's even telling Steve Bennett, I think, look, you can fault Rob Coslook for falling into that trap. But, you know, it's a very, very harsh penalty, but he wants to give it. And the booking of Michael Tong, I think, just summed the afternoon up, really. You know, he tells him to come off, you know, he's got to go back to the half-wheel and I'll wave you straight on. Yes, he didn't wave him on. But do you think he'd get marked down if he made him take it again? And because Michael Tong did a genuine mistake, and now he's suspended. And it's totally diabolical. It's a wonder he didn't book anybody at the end, our players, for taking the time with throw-ins, because we're losing 4-0 and time wasting. Because they don't understand the actual game. It's so frustrating for me in a game that the first goal was always going to be crucial. You know, I've no complaints about the end result, because once that goal went in, we've committed suicide. Another penalty, no complaints with that. The 2 mistakes for the goal, but we've had 3 or 4 great chances, more difficult to miss than score. So I can't fault the effort there. The effort was there. I'm disappointed, like you say, in 1 or 2 decisions, but that's Neil Warnock, isn't it?
As you said, the first goal was going to be so important at the Cop end as well, with a quarter of the game gone. I mean, I think the fancy word for it is simulation when a player loses his legs in the penalty area, isn't it? Well,
I think I was disappointed in Steven Gerrard. I told him that at half-time as well. And he knows, but good luck to him. You know, I think Steven Gerrard, the England captain and what have you, you know, looking at Steve Bennett saying, come on, give me a penalty. And fell for it, and he hook, line and sinker. So you've got to say good luck to Steven Gerrard. But I was disappointed. But I think Steven Gerrard will look who's in charge. I don't think Howard Webb would have given that. And, you know, 1 or 2 of the others, Lee Mason and some of the others that understand. But in Steve's eyes, it's touched him. It's a penalty. In Steve's eyes, he hasn't waved Michael Tong on it. It's a booking. In Steve's eyes, everything's black and white. He must go to bed at night and read the rules.
Disappointment for Neil Warnock, but a great week for Liverpool gets even better, and we'll be looking at those penalty shouts in more detail after the break with Warren Barton. And we'll also be discussing with a very comprehensive win over Sheffield United at Anfield. Slightly different game for them than the one in midweek.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, they went to Barcelona and, you know, it was an excellent football match, if you like, but you know with Sheffield United they're going to make it hard, but Liverpool at home are outstanding. You know, they're fantastic. Their determination, they're scoring goals, keeping clean sheets. He made 7 changes as well from the game, and a very good Liverpool performance.
It doesn't help when Liverpool win 2 penalties in 5 minutes. Neil Warnock very unhappy with the first award. What did you make?
Well, I'm just looking at the referee in here, and we see from another angle there is contact. You know, you've got to be smart as a defender. Look, Robert Coslow's looking not only once.
So is Steven Gerrard.
They're having a look. He's making the referee aware of what's happening. Now, you've got to be smart on that. But just here, Coslow just takes his eye off Steven Gerrard, and there is contact. OK, Steven Gerrard does go down easy, but you've got to be smarter than that. You know, you're only yards away from the referee. As a defender, as I said, don't make any contact, and then the referee hasn't got to make a decision.
Well, this is what Neil Warnock thought of the penalty award.
Steve's a manufactured referee. He's not a referee who understands actually playing the game. And I think Steven Gerrard was disappointed with him for the first penalty. I can't blame him, he's a professional footballer, but if you look at Steven's eyes, he wants the penalty from the start. He's even telling Steve Bennett, I think, look, you can fault Rob Coslook for falling into that trap, but, you know, it's a very, very harsh penalty, but he wants to give it. Harsh
penalties for Liverpool against Sheffield United for the second time this season. Robbie Fowler stepped up to take it. He doesn't miss many, does he?
No, how many times he's done that in front of the Kop? I think it's 200 plus goals he's got this season. No doubt about that, Robbie Fowler. Excellent professional, great finisher, and again, loved to see him back playing at Anfield.
Now, Javier Mascherano was given his debut by Rafael Benitez. What did you make of his contribution?
Very good. He's a great footballer. Obviously, at Upton Park, it's not worked out for him, but what he does give you is that cover in front of the back four. He's a good footballer. You know, he likes to play football. He wants to get the ball down. He will suit playing at Liverpool because he's got players that have got energy around him, and he'll just sit in there like Alonso and just keep passing the ball. You know, you don't become a bad player overnight, and this boy is talented, there's no doubt about that. And Liverpool's style will suit him because he'll be comfortable, he'll have lots of options. The players that he's playing with will all want the ball as well, rather than West Ham will be a bit intimidated by the crowd. No, that's a very shrewd signing because he's someone who's similar to Alonso, who will sit in front of the back four and just keep things moving and passing the ball around.
And what of Sheffield United?
Excellent. Again, Neil Warnock has enjoyed the Premiership. They've been a delight as well. They've really given their heart and soul, as you would expect from any team from Neil Warnock, and they've just about done enough to stay in the Premiership, and that's a fantastic achievement.
Now, last game to show you came at